During their era, the Vikings could be found all over Europe. We have heard of the stories of Vikings being tough and raiding other nations' coasts, but what some may not be aware of is most of them brought families to Britain looking for land to farm. Good farmland couldn't really be found in their own countries. The parts where most Vikings settled were northern Scotland and eastern England. When people picture the Vikings, we usually imagine them as giant men hurling around anything they can get their hands on, but recent discoveries may disprove this. It turns out the Vikings may have had more sophisticated types of weapons at their disposal. This comes from archaeologists who have studied artifacts from that era. Historical researchers have found out the Vikings were seafaring people, and during their times they established themselves as tough warriors, traders and explorers. It's also known that Viking ships landed on the British Isles, and they decided to stay here because the land was much better for farming than in their own countries. As mentioned, they mostly settled in Scotland and eastern England, and ruled these areas for around 5,000 years. Archaeologists have studied in detail weapons from this era, and one that interests them is known as the Ulfar sword. This sword has been discovered in a few locations across Europe, and researchers have been able to trace it back to the Viking era. It's been suggested by specialists that it was created by someone who was extremely intelligent, and who had a great understanding of metals and welding. One thing that's confused researchers though is that this sword was created using an incredibly strong metal, and they can't figure out how this individual was able to achieve this. It's confused many as this sword would have been created during a time before such welding was actually done, so some have questioned how they created these swords, and as you can imagine many theories have been put forward. The name of the sword has also been brought into question. The writing was found inscribed on the cross-section of the sword. Some researchers have put forward the theory that it could be the name of the place where the sword could have been created for battle. There is also a cross symbol that can be found on the back of the sword, and this is thought to be a nod towards the Roman Catholic Church, as they had a large hold over this region of the world. Another thing that's been brought into question is the heat source. The craftsmen would have needed extreme temperatures to fuse this weapon, and this didn't exist during that time. It's thought that maybe this technology existed in a time that we didn't think was possible. So what do you guys make of this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.